Hi, I'm Micki,
Hi, I'm Kat.
and we are Cat and Mouse Astrology. Welcome to the full moon in Pisces.
Full moon in
It's a
Pisces
swimming moon,
with Mercury retrograde.
and Venus retrograde, and Jupiter stationing to go retrograde.
Lots
Uranus
of
is about to
things.
go
Yeah,
retrograde.
lots of things are retrograde. Pluto's retrograde.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a pretty go forward summer for a while, and now it's kind of like, well, maybe we better stop and think about things,
Put on the brakes. Let's talk and think about things some more.
especially with the Saturn conjunct the moon.
Mm,
So yeah, there's something that at least we're emotionally gonna have to hold the phone. Wait a minute. Stop, reevaluate. I'm afraid so.
I feel like there's been a lot of that lately.
Yeah, yeah. There
I'm
have.
feeling tired of it.
I know. Yeah, this has been long term. It's like we we're in a place where, there's a lot of heavy configurations going on
Hmm.
and have been for so long since the 2020 conjunction of Uranus and
Saturn and
or
Saturn and Jupiter.
Saturn and Jupiter. Yeah.
Winter solstice 2020.
Yeah.
Remember it well.
But,
Momentous.
there'll be some fine configurations soon. And, even though retro Jupiter and retro Venus are square, having
Mm,
a square between the two benefics ain't all bad. It means, I think, in the way that we'll have an ability to turn a corner
right.
about something in the past or about something that's ongoing that we'll be doing again.
Mm.
Like maybe we have to go around in a circle, we have to turn a bunch of corners.
Hmm.
Um, you know, so I think that it's there's helpers. We've got helpers.
Might it be which direction to turn the corner? Like you come to the intersection, you're like, oh, wait, which way am I supposed to go?
Yeah, it sure could be. That's actually a great analogy, especially with those two.
Yeah.
Can we take a look
And
at
then
the chart?
Saturn and the moon. So you got the emotions going in there. Could be like an emotional, like, whoa, which way am I supposed, which way do I go?
I think that's a great analogy. That's exactly right. Especially depending on where the configurations happen for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With the sun in Virgo, if you have any planets in Virgo, and with the moon in Pisces, if you have any planets in Pisces, or
Yeah.
if you have planets square to those,
Right.
right? In Capricorn or sorry, in yeah,
Gemini, Sagittarius.
yeah, in Sagittarius, what's going to be squared? I have to look at the chart or my brain won't work. Let's pull it up.
Let's see the chart.
Here's the screen. There it is. Yeah.
Oh, we got a kite,
Yeah.
a
Which is
Neptune
pointing
kite.
right at Neptune, which I find interesting.
That's cool.
Neptune's been ruling at home in its own roost for quite some time. Not for that much longer, though. I mean, a year. In
Yeah.
Neptunian time, not that much longer.
Right.
But, we just, here on the 30th of August, the moon has just spent days going over Saturn.
Mm.
So this Saturn moon conjunction has been weighting us down for literally the last week.
Okay. I can feel that.
And with the sun over here shining, it's light on what's going on from Virgo and Mercury retrograde. That's where I think whatever this is about, the Saturn that is saying, stop to emotions or hold on or wait, think about it, or you can't move forward, or you don't know which way to turn, so maybe you better just stop and think. Whatever that Saturn's doing there in Pisces, it's kind of a weak Saturn, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And because it's in water and it's also retrograde, so the sun is much more powerful And again, I think it's helping us to go back over something. It's
Mhm.
shining light on something because of the Mercury retrograde in Virgo.
Might it be kind of a cleansing of foundations?
Yeah. Yeah, it could. It sure could.
Or a dreamy, flowy imagining of foundations for the future?
Yeah. And of course, it's going to depend on the Pisces placement for people. If this
Yeah.
is your first house, this is something heavy going on with, don't go do that surgery right now, or there's a stop here to something that may be very first house related if it's Pisces your first. So it's going to depend on where this Pisces sits. Let me give an example. So I have Pisces in my 6th house. That means Saturn as a taskmaster is telling me to get work done. It's my 6th house, get the work done. Even though it's watery, imaginative work, I might be emotionally going, no, I don't want to do it. I'm dead. I want to stop.
Right.
So this could be something where, if it's a 2nd house, it might be like, no, I'm done. I don't want to think about all this money I need to spend anymore. I want to stop. Or if it's a 3rd house, I'm emotionally sick of running all these errands around my neighborhood. I'm tired of taking the
That
kids
is draining.
to school. So I think that there's a sense of an emotional desire for something to end, or to take a break from something, or that Saturn is telling us we can't do something here.
Oh, I don't like hearing this. Keep going through the houses. What's the 4th house?
Okay, so if Pisces is the 4th house, then maybe we emotionally want to do something involving our house or home improvement, but there's something stopping us.
Okay.
Or slowing us down, or we have to wait for things to be delivered and they're not here yet. We're emotionally frustrated by that.
Yeah.
Or if it's the 5th house, we want to go have fun, take the kids to the pool, for example, or somewhere, or have a romantic thing, but maybe it's too hot. Or, there's some stop sign that says, no, the restaurant's closed, or your romantic evening has to be postponed. 6th house, well,
Yeah.
I already did that. Yeah. So 7th house would be a relationship.
Yeah.
Right. You have an emotional connection with somebody, a dreamy emotional connection, and that wedding's got to be postponed. Or the partnership there's something preventing the deal from going forward.
Yeah. That could also, that could be a business partnership too.
Exactly. And if it's 8th house, well, it could be an emotional feeling about someone who has passed. Saturn in the 8th can represent, some people passing. It's a pretty emotional thing with the Neptune there. It could also simply be, the money stopped and we're feeling emotional about somebody else's money not coming in, waiting on a government check. And it's not here yet, sort of thing. 9th house, well, perhaps we're ready to go to college. Somebody's ready to go back to college, and again, the money didn't come in yet. Classes have started, but there's no money yet, or can't quite get the schedule figured out with this dreamy Neptune. It's hard to.
Or struggling how to be your own disciplinarian.
Or just struggling with getting up in the morning. The clock goes off and says, get up and go. And you're like, oh, I don't want to.
Yeah.
9th house.
Just did.
Yeah. 10th house, career. So, maybe you're ready for that wonderful new project to start and it's being delayed, or you're waiting for acknowledgement for your good hard work and it's all watery and being delayed. So things are nebulous and delayed. And finally, 11th house, if Pisces is your 11th house, then this may be some group projects that you've been working on that are being slowed down or stopped or prevented from being moving forward, and there may be confusion about it. So I think it's, this is an area that,
Don't leave out the 12th house.
oh, and the 12th house. The 12th house, it's our, karmic or emotional past, or the things that we're doing in the background. Maybe a journaling project, or a project working with a counselor, doing some self-help stuff, and it's being delayed or again confused by something, or both delayed and confused.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a 12th house Pisces. How do you feel it might relate to you?
I think past stuff is being dragged to the surface, and it's confusing. The confusions from the past that linger. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, we do have help from this, because we've got the big old trine with Pluto, Uranus, and notice it's one end of it's with Mars and the other's with Mercury.
That's cute.
Yeah. So we don't have an actual closed trine here. It's not a complete trine. And we have a sextile with the Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus.
That's pretty fun.
That's pretty fun. So there is, there's an ability to fly this thing.
Yeah.
We can fly this thing. It may not be easy. So, here's the tail.
Yeah. So that's what we got to hold on to, right?
Right. Here's the tail. We're headed towards this Neptunian water, imagination, maybe kind of nebulous thing that we're not really sure what we're after.
Okay, so if we focus on the Mars and Mercury, then we can let it pull us towards the Neptune.
Yeah. And again, that communication is a reworked communication. It's the Mercury that's going back over things again.
Mm-hmm.
And
those confusing past things.
Right. But Mars is moving strong forward. Mars is still pulling the train.
Yeah.
So, notice we're essentially a bucket pattern, maybe more splay, but if this is the bucket pattern, Mars is the handle.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we're still being pulled forward by Mars, even though everything else is retrograde. Mars is in its detriment in Libra. But it doesn't mean, for me, Mars in Libra is like the accountant. It can't really do necessarily the things that it wants to do. It's not like, racing or driving a race car or, climbing a mountain. It may be climbing a mountain of paper or helping us get through some more things that involve, like you talked about, the decision. It may be a difficult decision. That really shows there. Turning the corner can be challenging because of Libras. We're trying to weigh something in Libra with Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And this could with Mars in its detriment, we may not have much energy to do the tasks that we're required to do.
Yeah, I feel that. I have Mars in Libra natally.
Mm-hmm. How do you think that impacts you?
I am a distinctly not competitive person. Like, you can't make me compete with you. You can't. I'm not going to do it. And I don't have a whole lot of drive. I'm much more leisurely about things.
Right. And how did you relate to things like Mars being there to help you tackle a pile of paperwork rather than go have the energy to fight traffic for the daily job?
Maybe I also have a hard time tackling piles of paperwork. That is something I really hate doing.
Yeah, this might be a good time for it, though. Mars
Yeah.
coming home here could give you a boost of energy.
Yeah. But it might be more related to Libra house things than paperwork.
True. True. And what do you mean there? How can it relate to the Libra house?
It just might give me more energy for relational issues.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and again, Mars sometimes represents a man or an experience in our life. So when we look at Mars in the natal chart, it sometimes shows, if it's a woman, a relationship with a man, or an experience that's ongoing and a big deal in our life. So that's something always interesting to look at with Mars, and depending on the house it's in and such. What is the second degree of Libra in our Sabian symbols?
Good idea. Let's see.
Since that's what's pulling things forward, let's take a look at where the energy.
Oh. The dawn of a new day reveals everything changed.
Ah,
nice.
There we go. I like that. Yeah. Pulling us into the future.
Yeah.
Take us somewhere else. We're tired of being here.
which is what I was saying about the Saturn moon right now, and that could be the building of the new foundations.
Yeah.
Because Saturn is so structural. And this is for me, this is also part of my Saturn return. It's opposite my natal Saturn. And so last night I was contemplating what was going on 7 years ago and what was going on 14 years ago and the changes that I made. And okay, well, what do I want to be able to look back on in 7 years and see what I've accomplished in a very Saturnian way? And what kind of structures and foundations do I need to make sure I have right now so that 7 years from now can actually become a reality?
Right.
It's that dawn of the new day, but you have to have the structures in place.
Exactly. That's a good point. You not only have to have the structures in place, and that's wherever anybody has Pisces, but with Mars and Libra, again, pulling everything forward. And read that symbol one more time.
The dawn of a new day reveals everything changed.
Yeah. See, I like that, especially because notice, the symbol of Libra is the dawn.
Oh,
Dawn represents the horizon, and there's the sun coming up.
Oh.
I find that symbology is really just lovely, and I think maybe we are going to be moving into some really new territory. Of course, we've got a lot of retrogrades, and until this Venus moves over here to Aquarius in February, things may be pulling slowly forwards, but that's when Mars will be here and Venus will be here and the lovers will meet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm, if there's a time frame in my mind I'm putting towards when can things actually move into a future, that's when I'm kind of have on my radar, because things will be out of retrograde by then and moving forward.
So could we just hang out with dreamy Neptune for the next 6 months or so until the dawn happens and a revelation comes and poof, everything's changed?
Well, obviously there's work we're doing, and there's something going on here because notice that the Jupiter Uranus is in positive configuration with that retrograde Mars.
Yeah.
And
Mercury.
Sorry, retrograde Mercury. And the Jupiter is still square Venus and will continue to square Venus. These two are going to be in square for a long time. So Venus is.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, Venus and Jupiter are square because Jupiter is at 15 degrees going retrograde. Jupiter's been at 15 degrees literally all month long.
Yeah.
And Venus has just gone back to 12 degrees and is going to be ready to go forward, but it's going to hang here for a while. So we still are within 3 degrees of an exact square with this Jupiter Venus. So this is a major, something that it's a background, maybe a positive hum that's giving us, energy to turn that corner.
Yeah.
Or maybe not energy is not the right word, giving us desire and momentum to turn that corner.
Or at least reflection on which way to go.
Yeah, and I think the reflection may be happening more back in here with the Saturn. Stop and think about it. How do you feel about it? This sort of thing.
Well, I say that because of the symbols in
Yeah.
Taurus. Okay, so the Jupiter symbol is an old teacher fails to interest his pupils in traditional knowledge.
Right.
That's where Jupiter's at.
And
And then Venus is an old sea captain rocking on the porch of his cottage.
So they've moved back to this place where it's like, oh,
They're like reminiscing, like we don't want it anymore.
Yeah, we're all tired of this old corporatocracy, but it's really convenient for some to go back to what they're used to, especially where you get benefit from. So it'll be interesting to see when we move off of these points and Jupiter and Venus start moving forward, how it's going to be impacted by Mars pulling everything along, because that's going to change, right? What's Black Moon on with 26 degrees? Leo.
Yeah. Daybreak, the luminescence of dawn in the eastern sky.
Right, so we're still moving towards this. That's a symbol again that we're moving towards this change that's coming.
Yeah.
And how about our sun and moon itself at 7 Virgo and 7 Pisces?
Okay. 7 Virgo. A girl takes her first dancing instruction. That's fun. Learning something new and pleasurable.
Yeah.
7 Pisces. A girl blowing a bugle. Interesting. A girl learning to dance and a girl blowing a bugle.
Yeah, those are hard to interpret though. Interesting. Yeah.
Well, it's like a call to action.
Right.
Well,
the call to action makes sense here. Emotionally, we're ready to do something. And Saturn is going, hey, wait a minute, blowing the bugle, but we want to go. We're ready to go. Everybody wants to go. We're in formation. The girl dancing seems relevant to the Jupiter and Venus. They're positive symbols. That's a joyful action. Moving forward in a positive way with a lesson, a new lesson in something, a lesson in something new that's positive.
Yeah, because the Venus will move forward shortly after the full moon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then when Venus moves forward, she's going to go back through all that stuff that we've been dealing with ever since early June.
Right.
So we're going to go back over all whatever you were dealing with in early June, even in late May, is going to come back up and have a chance then I think for Venus to bless it and for us to move on. And that'll help to loosen this up.
Right. Maybe even make some new foundations.
Exactly. So what else do you see interesting in this chart?
I mean, I just like the kite.
I do like that kite.
Kites they do seem to have that, like you're being pulled by the winds.
I think we've got an in conjunct with Venus and with Mercury and Chiron here.
Oh. Yeah.
which could make, talking about whatever needs healing or health issues uncomfortable, or maybe kind of like a fly in the tent. That's the way that
Yeah.
Rick Levine likes to put it. So maybe a little irritation there in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really looking forward to Venus going direct and pulling back through the conjunction, because like I said, it's just dancing conjunct. They're dancing conjunct together,
Right.
square together. Jupiter.
And then Venus will go forward, and there'll be a kind of trine to Chiron, and that could be
Right.
really nice.
Exactly. So Venus, with Venus pulling forward, a lot of those things that we've been just like holding our breath for, or like, oh, I don't know if I can ever make this work. We're going to see, that's where I think the change is going to come, because Venus is going to come along and be like a little magic fairy and go tingle dust, magic dust here, a little magic dust for this reindeer and a little magic dust for that reindeer. And I think that we're going to feel some blessings, after this long retro period that we've been through, 40 days, 49.
What day is that? Is it September 3rd?
Yep, September 3rd.
Okay.
September 3rd.
Doesn't feel like it's coming fast enough.
Right. But it won't be into new territory until like September 28th, 29th.
Oh, okay.
For that long.
So we've got some time.
Yep. All this stuff.
To be the old sea captain reflecting on things, and to be the old teacher being like, why can't I get anyone to pay attention to my traditional knowledge?
What is Venus? Did you already read Venus?
It was the old sea captain rocking on the
old sea captain.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we're in this rocking chair, just rock it away with.
I want to see what comes after that. What's she gonna do when she goes forward?
Yeah. What's the second one? What's the second one for that one? Is that
okay? Let me look. What degree is it? 12?
Yeah.
Well, I read you the second one. The first one is an evening lawn party of adults.
Uh-huh.
Oh, when she pulls forward and goes to 13, cherub-like, a human soul whispers, seeking to manifest.
Okay. Here we go.
There you go.
Yeah. So as she is reborn, and of course now she's the morning star, we can see her again.
Yeah.
She came out from being combust with the sun. So at 13 degrees, in just a week, less than a week, she will be at a place of rebirth.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to feel a lot of positivity with this going forward, even though something may be telling you right now, stop, you can't do it, there's a delay.
I'm so glad to hear that is in the stars, because I've been like, my sun is right on the cusp of the Leo Virgo, and so I have these Virgo self-critical tendencies, and this is the time that flares up, when Saturn's opposite all of that, and I'm just like being super critical of myself, like, why don't you have any courage? Why can't you get shit done? Why can't you just fucking call people? And it's like I felt really stuck, and I get critical of myself for being stuck, and it's helpful to be like, oh, look at the chart,
right?
It's Saturn
the moon
and the moon
Saturn right
and
there,
Pisces, and they're like, no, you're not doing shit right now, you're not going to do shit right now.
And you might not feel emotionally great about that,
but I don't feel emotionally great about that. Yeah. I'm feeling really emotionally critical right now.
But it's going to turn around. I'm sorry, read that 13 degrees one more time. I'm going to leave on that note. That's a good 13 degrees for Venus.
Okay, I'll read it precisely and not just try to remember it.
That's going to be September 4th-ish.
September 4th-ish. So you can be critical right now and know that it's not going to last much more than a week. 13 Leo. cherub-like, a human soul whispers, seeking to manifest.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Especially if we've got some percolating creative projects.
Yeah.
You know, Venus is going to light things up in whatever way, whatever Leonian way that's coming. That's coming. We're going to get some beautiful
God.
Leonian, Venusian, loving stuff going on real soon. So hang in there.
It's been hard. This Venus retrograde's been really hard on me.
It has. Yeah, it has been hard on me too. It's just feels like I got a taskmaster going, come on, do some stuff, get busy, get busy. I'm
And
like,
are you getting busy, or are you like, no, I can't do it?
yeah, I'm looking forward for a little Venusian peace, love, and joy.
I want cherub-like manifestation.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Whispers.
yeah.
Whispers
So,
are sexy.
yeah, whispers are. So hang in there wherever you're, you know, being stopped or being slowed down, and recognize it's going to turn around and you're going to move forward in a lovely new cherub-like way.
Yeah, there's a divine timing to things
Exactly.
in the celestial realms.
Right.
Go easy on yourself.
Exactly. Go easy on yourself.
Yeah.
And have a great full moon in Pisces.
Full moon in Pisces.
Full moon in Pisces. See you at the new moon.
Bye.
Bye.